Hello. Is everybody quiet today?
Hey, Manoj.
Oh, hi, Mark. Yeah, I guess we are waiting for Paul.
Yeah, I don't see him online. Huh?
Looks like May does not have audio.
Morning, everyone, or afternoon.
Hi, May. Good morning.
Good morning. Let's see here. Let me find where the notes are. Do you know if Paul is joining us?
Let me. I wasn't sure whether it was this week or the next week he had a conflict. I am not 100% sure.
Okay.
I thought he said, oh, yeah, okay. Sridhar responded next week. Yeah, so I thought he said he will join this week because May, remember, we discussed maybe even reviewing the template slides, and he said, yeah, that could work in terms of agenda. So
I thought so. I guess we can get started and he can join us when he gets here. Let me just pull up the meeting notes.
so while May is pulling up meeting notes, I have an announcement. I recently left Marvell last week, and I'm just contributing as a community member. So just FYI, everybody, I'm not representing Marvell.
Thanks for sharing that, Manoj. Do you have any, I guess when you're ready to share where you're heading, it's going to be interesting to see if you're still going to continue on with OPI. Hopefully you will.
I will certainly keep you posted, and I would love to continue, but depends on what I take on next. Thanks, Mark.
Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So the first thing on the agenda was the SmartNIC Summit. Since Paul's not here, do you want to go ahead and provide the overview?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so we did reach out to SmartNIC Summit organizers and requested afternoon session on June 13th. They confirmed that they will accommodate the afternoon session, which is like 1 to 5, depending on number of presentations we have and things like that. But it's basically, for now, it is 1 to 5 p.m. on June 13th.
1 to 5 p.m. on June 13th. Yes. And currently we are working on speakers for the event. I know that Paul was going to kick it off with an overview of the project, and a few of the other talks are some of the demos, the lab, and possibly a TSC overview and meeting. But we currently don't have the speakers yet locked down for these sessions. So if anyone on this team who would like to speak at the event, who is already attending the event, please let us know, because we need to submit that information so we can start promoting it.
Yeah, we'd love to present there. ARM is participating now in the life cycle provisioning group, and we're doing work with the team to establish the system ready program alignment with the community. Most of the partners are on board, so we'd love to have a slot to talk about that at that event, and that would be, I think Samer on our side would do the presentation. So you'll put my name down for now, but it'll be somebody from the technical team. So that'll be an in-depth technical discussion. So you can write down a system ready will be the project that we're going to reference.
Okay, and this will be for our half-day event, correct? Okay.
Yeah, our half day. So they're also presenting at, or they submitted, I believe, a talk for the SmartNIC Summit, but it's going to be very different. This is going to be a more in-depth discussion.
Okay. Awesome. Okay.
And if there's a need for somebody to speak about the lab, depending on, I know Manoj, I'm not sure, Manoj, if you're planning on attending, and who is looking to speak, but if they need somebody, I can help out as well. Okay. I'm happy to help.
Thanks, Mark. As of now, I'm planning to be there at SmartNIC Summit, but I'm not sure, which company I'll represent at that point.
Okay. Anyone else?
Hi, this is John from NVIDIA. I plan to be at the SmartNIC Summit.
Okay, awesome. Let's see if I can spell NVIDIA. Okay. John, will you be submitting a CFP for the overall event, or possibly speaking at our event?
I would be happy to. I believe my colleague has submitted me to participate in or to speak in another session or in a panel discussion as an NVIDIA person. And by the way, NVIDIA just doesn't have the I in front of it.
Oh, NVIDIA. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, that's perfect. Oh, yeah.
Nope.
Yeah, with the N, that's great.
Okay. Never panel overall events. Great. Anyone else? Okay, perfect. This is a great start. Thank you so much. In terms of the branding.
Sorry, May, a quick question.
Sure.
John, would you mind sharing what the topic is for panel? Is it related to OPI or just SmartNIC?
I don't remember the details right now, but no, it's not an OPI panel. It will probably be related to either DPUs or storage.
Okay,
probably
makes sense.
To storage.
That's what I thought, but I thought I would check because I think maybe worth one of us submitting like a standards related panel, right, in general, where some of us can represent OPI.
Sure. Yeah, and by the way, I just checked. The topic that I think I've been submitted for is about the DPUs for data center efficiency.
Thanks for checking, John.
I thought Paul submitted one as well, a general topic panel discussion for the event. And that he was going to look for members to populate that. And that was specifically for OPI. I'm going through the Slack channel to see if I can find that note, but I was under the impression that he was submitting something.
Yeah, we can confirm with Paul. You know, I mean, before my decision last week, Paul and I were working on like a keynote, but I wasn't aware of panel. We can check with Paul. I think.
Yeah, so there you go. I have the message here from Paul. It says a general panel discussion session has been submitted to the SmartNIC Summit as a breakout. This is in addition to the half-day pre-conference time slot for the SmartNIC Summit.
Excellent. Yeah,
So
thanks.
we
for
have that.
checking.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, great. So then if we get some of these talks accepted, this will be a great rounded event where we have our own half-day content, but also content at the main event as well. Great. Okay, anything else about SmartNIC? Okay, perfect. So moving on to the branding guide and the PowerPoint template. So these were shared with the team last week. We didn't get a lot of feedback, and so Paul gave us his thoughts, and so we are in the process of finalizing the branding guide and updating the PowerPoint template. It is now with the LF Creative Services team. And so once they have those final, we'll share it with this team and then we'll go from there. Once we have the PowerPoint template, this is what we'll all use for the summit. Any questions about that?
I can provide a quick update, and we can, redo this when Paul joins as well.
Okay.
So I had taken in, if that's okay, May.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Yeah. So I'd taken an action to kind of work on the PowerPoint template, and I think Ben joined one of the meetings. Paul and Ben and we took a stab at it. If we have time, I don't know, other topics, if you want to cover those first, we can come back to kind of like an outline. It will be good for everyone else in this forum to also review. It's been posted. I think Paul posted it on the Google Drive. So I let you decide. May, do you want to go through the other agenda items, or do you want me to bring up?
Yeah, we could certainly go through that real quick. Let me stop sharing. Do you want to share from your side?
Sure. Just give me 1 second. I'll go to a quieter place and let me share. Do you all see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So what we did was first spend the most time on the flow. And this is the proposal. It's, as I said, I'll send a link on Slack, a link to these slides. So feedback welcome. So I'll quickly go through this and get any feedback, and we can iterate here. But what we brainstormed is from a flow point of view, start with what problem are we solving as OPI, and what is OPI, our goals and objectives. There's a lot of confusion about DPU, IPU, SmartNIC, and I think we've done some of that. So maybe good to summarize what it is, and then talk about use cases, current projects, and all the activities that TSC and different groups are working on, and what we've done so far, and then call to action. So the flow is basically covers some of these. We have like placeholders for like use cases and stuff like that because we need to pull the latest there. But then we kind of took a stab at things that we had discussed, which is, we may need to wordsmith some of this. We say, hey, the way to drive broader adoption of DPUs is, we want to show this flywheel effect, right? And I'll be happy to work on some of the formatting where I may put an image on the right and, adjust these bullets accordingly. But the idea is, as an industry, let's work on these standard APIs that helps with ease of deployment, that drives broader adoption, ultimately, lower TCO savings for our end customers. So that's kind of the problem statement. This is a standard slide. I didn't change any of this. This is what OPI is about. The members, I think this is the latest. The organization and the different work groups and activities didn't change anything. There was a comment about replacing with a QR code, because these days, everybody can, instead of a link, they can just take an image of the QR code and get to the links. This didn't change anything here from, I think I picked the last one, the latest one. And then we may need to work on a few of these. I picked a few slides from older presentation to talk about, give some background and context. And then, as I said, there are some placeholders for use cases and stuff like that. And then I took a stab at this kind of like a solution vision where there were, I think, different formats here. There was like one here, but it was just getting into a few different, bare metal and different deployment options. I thought we could abstract that a little bit and, just highlight what we may work on and how others would build solutions leveraging some of these standard frameworks. I just kind of took a stab at that. Current activities, used one of the slides from the latest presentation, and then kind of call to action we had presented at OCP. So, this is like an OCP example where from a template point of view, we could adjust this. So whoever is presented in whatever other consortium or conference, or, we can adjust accordingly. So yeah, for a few kind of like template slides. So this still needs a lot of work, but I thought, we kind of, align on a flow that we can, make this scalable and leverage for presenting at other forums. Comment, feedback?
Yeah, that makes sense to me, Manoj. I think this is a good start.
Thanks. And then, as I said, I will post the link to this file in Slack. I think I could get into the Slack so folks can look at it offline and add comments in the slides itself, or send to the Slack channel. You can adjust. Thanks, May.
Awesome, thank you. Sridhar, since Paul is not here, do you want to talk about the website vote? You are on mute if you're trying to talk.
Sridhar had said that he's in a noisy environment, so he may not be able to. Converse today.
Oh, okay. Oh, he's messaging. I have extended the voting by a week. Okay, so did everyone here vote for their favorite websites or styles? The second position is avocado. Right. Currently, LF is the favorite. Second. We only got 8 votes. Okay. So if you haven't yet, please vote. We need to close this out so that the LF Creative Service team can get started. We're hoping that we'll have a new website by SmartNick so that we can, you know, have all the blogging ready. So we'll have all the social media ready and we can promote the website and any press releases we might have then. Any questions about the website?
May, I can't remember now, is the voting limited to members? Like, is there a limitation on who can vote, or is it for general?
It should be limited to members,
Okay,
but we will have to confirm that. I think it's members on the marketing and the CSC teams.
yeah, that would make sense. Okay, thanks.
Okay, perfect. So let's see. Let me just write that down. So if you haven't yet, let's make sure you please vote. Voted extended by 1 week. Currently, LF is the favorite. Second. Okay, perfect. So for the marketing plan, so this I presented to a few folks, the few folks that made it to the the marketing outreach meeting a few weeks ago. And so, and then I shared it out to this team. And so I did get a little bit of feedback, but mostly it was positive feedback that we were going in the right direction. So currently we are evaluating some of the tools. And I wanted to ask this team, because I am still new to OPI, we need to set goals for social media and for like coverage. What publications would this team like to see OPI articles in? I'm gonna call on Mark just because you usually have answers.
Well, I'm actually thinking about this question that you're asking, and I don't. Well, I don't know. I think we need to consider the audience that we're trying to connect with, and that should help drive our decision on which publications are appropriate. But I don't know. I'm not familiar with who that would be in this. You know, for example, the data center folks. Like, I'm trying to think about the end customers that are going to be impacted by the content. We might need to do a little bit of research on this one. I'm wondering, like, where SmartNick Summit type or SmartNick cards updates are being published. That seems like an appropriate alignment, right, on who the end customers are.
Are there certain keywords that that we would look for, like on social media when we're trying to retweet or reshare articles? Are there certain keywords that we're looking for?
Well, definitely DPUs, IPUs. That's an
Mhm.
easy one.
Okay.
I wonder even if SmartNIC is a keyword for us,
Mhm.
depending on what we want to say with it. I'm not sure you'd want to retweet it, but it's
Maybe
one of my
kind
flags.
yeah. Okay, well, this is a good start, and so we'll continue to do some research. I will not be at the next meeting, and so I'll plan on presenting the full marketing plan with the metrics at the next one. So not April 4th, but April 11th.
I'm
And then-
also out next week. Just FYI.
Sorry, say again?
I'll also be out next week, FYI.
Oh, yeah. Is it spring break?
No, there's a conference. I'll be at a conference
Oh,
next week.
conference. Okay. Okay. I only asked that because I think there are a few other folks. I think Paul might be out next week as well. Okay, and so then the last two things, Mark, I had Ben written down for the press release, the ARM press release. Did I get that wrong?
Yeah, I think for the ARM press release, I'm definitely going to be working on one, right? And then we talked about, oh, maybe you mentioned Ben because we want one from the Linux Foundation as well to be released.
Oh, yes.
And
Okay.
I was going to reach out to Shri about that and lining up the timing. I'm still working through the contract. I'm really hoping to get that done this week. But
Okay.
as soon as that's done, I'll have pressure to release blog announcement.
Okay.
But I'll reach out to the Linux Foundation. We can plan that out.
Okay. So still working on the contract. So do you think maybe mid-April?
Oh, absolutely. I think, yeah, mid-April. I guess what we want to do is then align the release of that blog, a time that makes sense. But I'm definitely confident that by mid-April, we're going to be all signed up and ready to run.
Okay, perfect. Right, because then we'll be able to, post, since we don't have our we probably won't have our website yet. We'll be able to post the press release on the Linux Foundation newsroom and promote it from there. Great. I think that's all I had on my list. Did anyone have anything else they wanted to chat about? This is a quiet group today.
Yeah, we're missing Ben and Paul. They're vocal.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Well, that's all that we had. So we'll share the notes from the meeting and then some of the links to the presentation that Manoj presented and the website, the link to vote for the website again, and we'll go from there. Great.
Thanks, mate. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.